guys, welcome back to my channel. I have another productivity video for you today where I'm going to be sharing 3 of my favorite productivity tools. But real quick, before we dive into that, if you're new to me, my name is Berta Lippert, and I'm a Mayo Clinic trained and board certified health and wellness specialist where I specialize in behavior change and helping people create the changes that they'd like to in their lives. And I create a lot of content here about productivity as well because I know that that helps people achieve their goals faster. So if you like content like that, check out the playlist that I have for other productivity videos, subscribe to my channel, and join my VIP list at bertavip.com where you'll get content like this sent right to your inbox once a month. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. The very first productivity tool that's a favorite of mine I want to share with you is this little digital timer. Now, I use this little digital timer when I'm using the Pomodoro technique, and I know that's nothing new to a lot of you. If you don't know, by the way, it is a tool that you use where you work 25 minutes, then you take a 5-minute break. Then you do that about 4 times, take a longer break, and you just kind of repeat that cycle. And I'm definitely more productive when I use the Pomodoro technique. And I know that I could use an app on my phone, which I've tried those. I know I could just use the timer on my phone. I had one of those sand hourglass, which I really loved, but it fell off my desk and broke. I thought about the cubed timers, but I didn't like the light that would flash on those. I didn't like the noise on some of the other ones. So I really like this little guy. It's just something that I can use really quick and easy. It works as my clock. The rest of the time, I think right now it's about $7 on Amazon. So I will link this down below. And if you know me, you probably know I like it because it's pink, but they have other colors as well. So that's my first productivity tool that I wanted to share with you today. The second is my day planner. So I use the Day Designer system, and I have been using this for years. Whitney English was the one who created this system, and I used to purchase directly from her. In fact, she's got a ton of free printables too, as well as Day Designer. I'll list both of their websites down below so that you can check those out because I love these. So I do have a Google Calendar that I use for some, but I have 2 different Day Designers that I use. This first one is the weekly and monthly version. In fact, let's see if I can turn to a week here real quick. So this will have a whole week laid out in advance, and I like to do some planning using this one, and then I transfer over the dailies to this one right here, which I absolutely love. This is by far my favorite. I've talked about this several times. This is the same, this is a Day Designer as well, but this one has the monthly, but then also the dailies. And what I really like about the dailies, I can turn to a blank one here for you. What I really like a difference about the dailies from the weekly is this breaks down the day into 30-minute intervals instead of just on the hour. I also really like that it has a section for gratitude. I love that. There's a quote that they have with every day. They have a to-do list and another area just for notes. I really find this really effective. Oh, actually, I just noticed that's on a weekend one where they have 2 days in one. All the rest of them are singles. So I love this. And you guys, you know what? I know I see this all the time for like $60 on Amazon or the Office Depot, those places. Check out Target at the first of the year. I got mine for less than $20, and right now I'm filming this in August, and a lot of times they'll also come up with academic versions. So by chance, if you're watching this video and you'd like to explore that Day Designer, you can probably get an academic calendar that goes from July to July instead of a regular calendar. So by far, I absolutely love those Day Designers. And if I didn't already mention it, check out their printables because they have ones for entrepreneurs in different settings as well to kind of plan out your day. Absolutely love those. I'm far more productive when I use those and plan out my weeks and my days. Okay. And the third productivity favorite of mine I wanted to share with you today, and I really, really like this one, you guys. It is a system by David Allen calling Getting Things Done. This is nothing new. You very well may have heard about this. Now, I really, really love this. This happens to be a CD set that I found years ago at a thrift store. So I discovered this by accident, but I absolutely love it, despite a couple of pieces being a little bit dated with regards to the system. But a few things that I want to share with you today regarding David Allen's system. The first thing is that I love is he talked about all of the energy that we expend when we try to carry everything around in our head of all of the different things that we have to do. Of all these different things we have to get done, whether it's today, tomorrow, or sometime in the future, that we do really expend a lot of energy trying to remember all that, even if it doesn't seem like that. When I read that, I was like, oh yeah, that's really true. So I love his system. He created a flow chart And there's basically just a couple of questions that you ask yourself. But the first thing that happens is everything goes into an inbox. And this will be one thing that's a little dated, where he talks about a physical inbox, and maybe your bills, or if you think of old school faxes or things like that, one place that you would just capture everything that has to get done, and that's the starting point. Now, instead of a physical inbox, although I do have that too for incoming mail at my house, I simply use a notebook. So my inbox is just a notebook that everything always that's in my head that I have to get done, no matter what it is, or something maybe in the future I'd like to do, I just capture it here. And then I work through the list that I created. So that way I'm not even carrying an idea around in my head, I'm able to capture it. The two questions are this. So he says that when you have your list and you have this inbox kind of funneling through, you first ask yourself, is this actionable? Is this particular thing that you wrote down or that's in your physical inbox, is it something that you need to take action on right away, or something that you can take action on right away, but more importantly, do you need to? And if the answer is yes, you go one way on the flow chart. If the answer is no, then you kind of file that away, depending if it's reference or a someday list that you'd like to do it. And now the next question is, what's the next action that you would take? What would be the next step? So if it is actionable, then what will you need to do? And then you follow the rest of the flow chart there with regards to that process. Now, there's a couple of pieces in that process that I absolutely love, and I find it really helpful, not only for just productivity, but just peace of mind. The first thing is kind of a fun one, and that is if there's something that's on your, or in your inbox or on your list, and it's not something that you might take action on right away, he has something called a someday maybe list. So maybe someday I have this idea for my business, or this idea for my house, or something I'd like to do. And I love that idea. So I actually have a separate area that I keep all of those thoughts. I transfer over from my inbox. They're initially captured here, and then I put them on a separate list where I know I don't have to take action, but I want to save that idea. The other thing that I wanted to mention to you is another list, and it's something that's really valuable to me in my role as a caregiver. Now, if you don't know, my father has Alzheimer's, and I am his primary caregiver. And there are so many situations and times that I have to wait for somebody else to do something before I can do my next step. So you can probably relate, and not just in that role as a caregiver, but there are so many times, you guys, that I'm waiting for the VA or something I'm waiting on from a pharmacy or this or that or PT or OT. There's so many times where I can't take the next step until I have what I need from these people. So I have a separate list that's dedicated for that. That's David Allen's idea. It's called the waiting for list. So the waiting for list, I just keep track. I keep track of, oh, I'm waiting from this person. And then what I can do is every once in a while I sit down and I knock off a bunch of phone calls. I go write down that list and I'll send an email to follow up if I need to, or make the phone call. But I thought that was so valuable to me, is I have this separate list that says waiting for. I need to take action on it, but I'm unable to move forward until somebody else does their part. So I thought that was really helpful, and I wanted to share that with you too. So I absolutely love his system. You guys know I talk about Neil Fiore and a couple other productivity systems as well. I kind of have a blended system, but I really, really like David Allen's Getting Things Done. There's a reason why it's a classic. I definitely recommend and check that out. So those are my 3 productivity tools that I want to share with you today that are definitely some of my favorites. I hope you found this useful. Again, if you like content like this, check out my playlist on productivity, subscribe to my channel, and join my VIP list at bertavip.com. So I appreciate you letting me share this with you, and I will see you next time.